Sure, right now we will see if they're able to hold together as they try and push a little bit farther south. Now, activity out over more toward, say, north of Lake Maurepas, Baton Rouge, those are holding together, but the storms in southern Tangi and St. Tammany do look like they are weakening. In fact, kind of the core of this storm is more over Tallahassee, where there are some signals of maybe a little bit of small P to even almost quarter-size hail. That was the real concern, the hail and gusty winds, but these storms are weakening. However, there are some outflow boundaries which then themselves can initiate additional thunderstorms. So I think we'll at least see some rain in the coming hours. Just don't know how much of the metro area we'll see it. Also some activity down toward the Bayou parishes, Thibodaux and Houma. We benefited earlier in the day from some coastal thunderstorms that sent in some high cloudiness, and it did prevent a lot of us from seeing those excessively high heat indices. It was still plenty hot, but I'll take whatever relief we can get. And again, we are getting some relief from those storms rolling southward. Notice our computer model not really initializing well. In other words, it doesn't really know where the storms are at the moment. So kind of look at the rest of this evening with a grain of salt, or take the rest of this evening with a grain of salt as far as where those storms would go. I think maybe through the 9 to 10 o'clock time frame, we could still see a few of the storms around. Now, during the day tomorrow, we'll look to start off dry, but then by the afternoon and early evening, more shower and thunderstorm development. Even if you don't get underneath the rain, it does like we should also see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover. So that should help us out. I'm trying to find any kind of relief from our temperatures, because by this weekend, we're not going to see it. Where we're getting the rainfall, boy, temperatures upper 70s or even mid 70s, lower 80s, otherwise still in the 90s, and the humidity is still plenty high. But I had alluded to the fact that I think some drier air is on the way for next week. 93 our current reading at Kenner, though it still feels like 112. 94 was our high today. This date last year, on this date last year, we were at 101 for the actual temperature. That was that hot summer. Now at the moment, the upper high is kind of weakening, and that is allowing for these little disturbances to kind of rotate through. It looks like we are getting one now, and another one is possible during the day tomorrow, as the upper high that has been dominant is starting to kind of come to an end. It's falling apart, it's weakening, and a little bit more of a dominant upper high out to our west. Then as we go forward past this weekend, deep upper trough. This upper troughing is going to bring in drier air. So while we will stay muggy through the weekend, dew points 70s, at times even lower 80s, by next week, especially Tuesday morning, we will be waking up with drier air. Now, it is still August, so it'll still be hot. But I tell you what, the early morning, late evening, as we don't get that direct sunlight, and even during the day in the shade, dew points in the 50s and lower 60s will be some welcome relief. As I said, high temperatures still running above normal, but it's at least a little bit more bearable, because with that lower humidity, you really don't have much of a heat index. Better chance of rain during the day tomorrow. We're a little bit drier for the weekend. And then on Monday, that 40% chance of rain is with a weak front. Again, it's August, so all it's going to help to do is bring in some of that less humid air, but I will take it. Most of our rainfall ending in the next couple of hours, and then mostly clear skies. We'll start off the day tomorrow with some sunshine, then showers and thunderstorms at around 40 to 50%, much less though as we head into this coming weekend. The latest on Ernesto, still a Category 1, but boy, it is getting that look. We've got the strong thunderstorms trying to organize near the center. They have been struggling, but it has good outflow. In other words, it has plenty of room in the upper atmosphere to continue to intensify. But because of this kind of struggle with the internal strengthening, the Hurricane Center is no longer indicating it becoming a major storm. So that is certainly some good news, but still will pose a big issue for Bermuda as the storm looks to move directly over the island and by Saturday, and then quickly moving into the North Atlantic as we head further into Sunday and then into next week. Elsewhere in the tropics, no development is expected for the next 7 days. So good shot at some rainfall during the day tomorrow. Hot, humid, and mostly dry this weekend. Some scattered showers with a front on Monday, then less humid, but still hot next week.
All right, Chris.